Welcome to The Explainer. Now, if you are a corporate executive, an analyst, or a venture investor tracking the bleeding edge of tech, you already know the ground is shifting incredibly fast right now. I was digging through the recent Next in AI daily newsletters, and let me tell you, the overarching theme is just massive. We are moving away, and moving rapidly, from just building foundational models to actually deploying highly efficient, autonomous, agentic systems. We are no longer just talking to AI, we are putting it to work.
And this quote from the recent Agentic API grader launch on Product Hunt, it is absolutely the perfect hook for our briefing today. Your #1 new customer is an AI agent. I mean, really think about the high stakes for the corporate and venture ecosystem here. The users consuming your APIs, the ones navigating your platforms, and even executing transactions, they're increasingly not human beings at all. They are autonomous programs. And this fundamental shift means our infrastructure, our security protocols, and literally our entire business models have to be re-engineered to serve these synthetic clients.
So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Enterprise efficiency. 2. The agentic AI paradigm. 3. Security and governance. And 4. Breakthroughs on the horizon. All right, let's jump right into part 1, enterprise efficiency and scaling. Because look, before you can deploy a massive fleet of autonomous agents, you need the infrastructure to actually handle them, right? And the biggest tech players are aggressively eliminating friction to make AI viable for heavy, real-world production. It's actually fascinating to see this unified focus across every major provider. Just look at these updates. Google Gemini introduced webhooks to reduce latency for long-running jobs. OpenAI, they entirely rebuilt their WebRTC stack to deliver low-latency voice AI at a massive scale. Over at AWS, they're rolling out capacity-aware inference with automatic instance fallback for SageMaker AI endpoints, basically making sure that when GPU compute gets tight, production doesn't just crash. And foundational research from Together AI is laser-focused on efficient, reliable inference. So you see, the race isn't just about who has the smartest model anymore. It is all about reliability, latency reduction, and capacity management at a true enterprise scale. And here's exactly why all this infrastructure efficiency matters to the C-suite. Take the massive new partnership between OpenAI and PwC, which is aiming to completely reimagine the office of the CFO. Now, the traditional workflow relies on manual forecasting and these isolated siloed controls, but the new agentic AI workflow? It uses AI agents to automate finance operations, generate continuous, real-time forecasting, and strengthen integrated controls. It's taking AI from being this sort of back-office novelty and turning it into a core driver of operational modernization.
Moving on to Section 2, the Agentic AI paradigm. Now, this is arguably the single most significant shift detailed in the recent newsletters. AI is evolving from a passive tool you query, where you ask a question and get an answer, into an active, autonomous agent that executes complex, multi-step tasks. So how do these systems actually work together? Well, I found this fascinating new paper on multi-agent systems that breaks down what they call orchestration traces. As agents evolve into coordinated teams, they basically follow a 5-step life cycle, spawning a sub-agent for a specific task, delegating the workload, communicating between nodes, aggregating the results, and finally stopping the process efficiently. By optimizing this exact life cycle, researchers are moving us from isolated tool users into highly synchronized autonomous digital workforces.
And guys, the sheer market velocity of this integration is staggering. Just look at the recent product launches across completely different sectors. Unity AI is now building agents directly into creator workflows for game design. Airbyte Agents just launched a production-grade context layer specifically built to support these systems. And Talacode is pushing local AI coding assistants that actually delegate subtasks to other AI agents. The agentic paradigm is not some distant future concept. It's shipping in commercial products today.
But of course, managing these agents requires entirely new operational realities. The absolutely crucial point here is how we govern the human-machine relationship. The HS framework, which stands for Human and Artificial Intelligence Systems, tackles this head-on. It proposes that deciding how to distribute work shouldn't just be this simple binary choice of human does this, AI does that. Instead, it has to be a fluid, policy-aware distribution based on real-time context, human fatigue, and the actual stakes involved in the task. It's all about adaptive task allocation that balances efficiency with the necessary human oversight. Which brings us nicely to Section 3, security, governance, and policy.
Because let's face it, as AI gains more autonomy and handles increasingly sensitive enterprise and financial tasks, the risk profile changes entirely. A passive tool making a mistake is a typo. An autonomous agent making a mistake, or worse, being hijacked, is a systemic vulnerability. And look at how seriously the industry's taking this. We're seeing unprecedented alignment right now.
The US AI Safety Institute, or CAISI, has signed agreements with leading labs including Google DeepMind, Microsoft, and xAI. Their goal? Pre-deployment evaluations and frontier AI national security testing. National security agencies and private enterprise are quite literally locking arms to establish responsible AI guidelines before these highly capable models ever hit the open web.
And this governance shift isn't just corporate either. It is happening at the very highest levels of academia. Stanford University recently announced a massive restructuring, merging its AI and data science efforts under a single unified institute. Even elite academic institutions are realizing that the next era of AI simply cannot be siloed off in the computer science department. It demands a deeply integrated cross-disciplinary approach to govern, research, and develop AI that interacts safely with society.
Now, if you want to understand the sheer financial urgency behind all these security protocols, just take a look at this number. Over $1 billion. That is the amount lost annually to smart contract vulnerabilities in decentralized finance alone. The security community literally cannot patch vulnerabilities fast enough manually, and that reality has driven the creation of systems like EvoPOC, which is a knowledge-driven agentic system for automated exploit synthesis. Basically, AI is now being deployed to autonomously hunt down and prove vulnerabilities before malicious actors can exploit them to the tune of billions.
But this new autonomy also brings us to some pretty terrifying new attack vectors. Researchers have recently identified a brand new threat: autonomous LLM agent worms. Because these newer agents operate as long-running processes with persistent workspaces and memory files, an attacker can actually slip malicious content right into an agent's memory. So later, when the agent auto-loads that memory, it can be manipulated into executing high-risk configuration changes or cross-platform attacks. It's a crazy catch-22. The very autonomy and persistent context that make these agents powerful are exactly what make them vulnerable.
Finally, let's look at Section 4, Breakthroughs on the Horizon. For the investors and analysts tuning in today, consider this your strategic preview of the bleeding-edge research that will undoubtedly define the next investment cycle. We are seeing incredible leaps in physical AI. I was genuinely amazed by a recent paper in Nature Machine Intelligence that introduced something called TragCast. In molecular dynamics, calculating atomic forces is incredibly computationally heavy, while TragCast uses an autoregressive neural network to bypass those traditional force calculations entirely, directly predicting atomic trajectories instead. This enables time steps up to 30 times longer, all while maintaining accuracy. This is a massive, massive breakthrough poised to dramatically accelerate discovery in materials science and biology.
And as these systems get more complex, they have to figure out how to manage themselves. Researchers are now proposing a biological analogy called the Bayesian reflex, and it is absolutely wild to think about. The core idea is that online learning in AI should act a lot like the human autonomic nervous system. So just as your body automatically regulates your heart rate to maintain equilibrium, future AI systems will use probabilistic representations and sequential updating to automatically adapt to uncertainty in real time. It is literally moving AI closer to organic resilience.
And the expansion into brand new domains is aggressive. We're seeing new semantic risk-aware heuristic planners, or SRAH, that use LLM-inspired reasoning to help robots navigate highly dynamic physical environments. Over in computing, researchers are already testing the energy efficiency of quantum fine-tuning for foundational AI models using trapped ion processors. And if we look at telecommunications, new papers are outlining how tool uses action will drive autonomous agentic control in our upcoming 6G networks. Make no mistake, AI is fundamentally reshaping robotics, quantum computing, and the core of our global telecom infrastructure.
Well, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from enterprise infrastructure drastically reducing latency to the very real vulnerabilities of autonomous agent worms, all the way to AI managing our 6G networks. And it all points to one undeniable fact: the era of AI as a passive little chat box is over. So I want to leave you with this question to reflect on. As AI rapidly transitions from isolated tools to autonomous executing agents, is your organization operationally, securely, and strategically ready to manage them? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Next in AI newsletter. Keep learning, and I'll see you on the next Explainer.